Franklin who's dead, and then I don't have a photo ID for Franklin, and I have to get somebody to come with me. You understand, to confirm you. So it's not going to, that's just an excuse. They have to understand that disenfranchising the people who are not able to go and make passport now. And they are elderly people who have got the money to go and make a passport. It's worth by not allowing them to use their birth certificate. Okay? You understand?
I'm totally with you.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't agree with them at all saying about that idea of the birth certificate is going to, no. It's not going to drop any bar. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So I have some calls coming in. This one to go back to the mainland United States of America.
What I don't understand, I'm listening to you read the one from St. Kitts. Where in Dominica does it make allocations for addresses? So you're continuing the fraudulent behavior. Why should I be? What if I was registered 10 years ago in my little village in Monjon? Now you're asking me to go and make confirmation. I go in the church, I go in wherever you are auditing to reconfirm. Shouldn't my address change if I am living in a different area for that 10 years or 5 years out of the 10 years since I've been registered? How do you have people in the correct polling stations if you do not have addresses updated? So when I get confirmed, they just change it to whatever address I give them, or are they reconfirming me on the address that is already there? How does that work?
Tabu. Okay, Papa. Okay. Remember to drink some milk of magnesia, or some yeah. So that part will come out crisp and nice. Yeah, that's real. That's a raw, authentic as well. Somebody was saying, was it you? Blessings. Long I haven't heard Monsieur say Mary Joseph. La Sainte Vierge saying Mary Joseph. Long time I don't hear that one. Maybe the cultural division need to come up and people, come up with the Dominican sayings. Maybe I can lead that at the college. Yeah, man. La Sainte Vierge Mary saying Mary Joseph. Good afternoon. 1212.
What the lady said is very true.
Which one? Which one? She said. Which one? Would you breaking up? You going far, man? That's a long distance call.
No, not a long distance.
Oh, you sung far. Go ahead. I'm here with you.
When I registered to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
I registered on Queen Mary Street. I registered on my Christian surname, the surname my father and my mother gave me.
Mm.
I'm married now. I'm living in a different area now. How I went to reconfirm and my polling station not changing, my address not changing. How that happening there? I just have to change. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
My polling station have to change. Isn't that so?
Yep, of course.
But Franklin, that thing is a real mailers because they're not giving you the problem. I'm not telling you about reconfirmation, but I can't reconfirm on my old address. My old address is 10 different addresses factor and the I can't reconfirm here.
Mm-hmm.
No. I have to reconfirm, I have to register my state.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why we need complete re-registration, giving people their polling station, their address, everything that what is part of they have to steal the dumb election. That is why they're going through all that mumbo jumbo and they get Duncan. I thought Duncan will be better than that. Duncan making this thing even worse. Well, right now people have to upgrade that Duncan still. Duncan have upgraded now. So, and everyone is to upgrade. Bye-bye.
Bye. I think I want to just do. No, I had something there a while ago. It just came in, and that was to do with yes, zip. A vote is the power we have to influence any kind of change, and so it's everyone's responsibility to ensure that they can vote. Why would someone encourage people not to reconfirm? Everyone should ensure that their name is on the list to vote. Okay, so that's one. I haven't. Okay, I'll take this stuff on the block. I'm holding on for Matt Petty. He's on his way home. Yes, good
You
afternoon.
have a chance to tell
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
friend from years.
I didn't get it. I didn't get the last part. I didn't get the last part. Say again.
Your friend for years traveling here and here every year.
Okay.
So you-
Nice.
Yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a question.
Yes.
It might be Duncan, what Duncan too, whatever it is.
So, Duncan.
Duncan, okay. I was told he's a passport peddler. Is that true? You have any idea?
He what?
Passport peddler.
He passed?
Passport, he's selling passport.
Oh, yeah. He is an agent for the CBI.
Okay. That
Alright.
man don't want to look like million. So he'll be corrupted, but he mustn't provoke Dominican. They must instigate trouble in Dominica. Dominican is tired. I myself tired. If you see that country get that same government, I will start myself from this country immediately. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. You're on the block. It's 2:15.
Good afternoon, Mr. Franklin,
Good afternoon.
and how are you doing?
Everything is in divine order.
Okay. I have been listening to this conversation from since yesterday and onward.
Mhm. What's troubling you? What's your concern?
So let us really look at this on a serious note, because I find Dominicans have been taking too much and have been taking too much for granted. So we really need to get something clarified. All along, you have been advertising, you have been admonishing people to get their birth paper, get this and get that ready for confirmation. Look at the time Mr. Duncan stole or stone, or what is his name? I'm not his godfather.
It's all right.
Did you waiting until the day before the program starts to come and say you are no longer using birth paper and whatever? It's time for this nonsense to stop. And what right Mr. Duncan Stowe should have in electoral affairs? Mr. Duncan is a passport agent. These people are only looking for spirit and in their pockets, not for the love of Dominica and for Dominicans. Dominicans need to put their foot down and stop running their mouth like parrots. Stand up on their foot and let these policy makers know that without the people, you don't have no power. And we need to let those people understand, and we need to send the message. All right now, no confirmation should be going on because no center should be functioning. Dominicans should stand up and make those people know that every single confirmation center should be closed until they rectify this nonsense they're going on about with. And we need to eradicate them nonsense and make those policy and politicians know that without the people, they have no power.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your observation. 2:18 afternoon time, right here, the big station Q95 this afternoon. So that's sitting in temporarily for until Matt returns on the hot seat. Franklin Peter Moses sitting in and just taking your calls. We're just having an open discussion this afternoon. We're just going where the wind blows. However, at this point in time, the epicenter for discussion centers around the seismic activity of the potential possibility of elections, fresh elections being called in Dominica. And when I say fresh, I'm talking about new, but it's due, up and coming in June. And with speculation rife, as Matt would say, the country is pregnant with issues. I mean, looking for the midwife.
Eagle Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses. For drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in 2 varieties, each in 2 sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esau Trading Limited. That meant nice, boy. Esau Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky milky milk. Milky milk, milky 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 milk.
Okay, it's 2:19. I didn't mean to stop my commercials. And don't you do that again. Continue.
All-inclusive Creole Cruise Party is set to set sail at sunset to secret exclusive destinations under the canopy of a lovely, lively, vibrant, colorful celebration with non-stop entertainment by First Serenade Combo, King Dice, Reigning Calypso Monarch, Joy, Dread and the Bear. Music by DJ Shield. 6 p.m. and the journey departs the Bayfront in Roseau. It's smooth sailings along the scenic coast of independent Dominica. Come and enjoy a deserving night of highly anticipated good fun, friends, and frolic. Thursday, October 23rd, all-inclusive Creole Cruise Party. Secure your tickets now for this extraordinary cruise journey along the coast of Dominica. Only $280 or $80. All-inclusive Creole Cruise Party. Get your tickets at Island Event Tickets/Tickets Creole Cruise Party. A Bullseye Pharmacy. A call 235-6880. That's Thursday, October 23rd. Big prizes and surprises. Everyone from the diaspora will be there.
Somebody saying to me, Dominica will never have fresh elections when it's business as usual. Okay, let's see what this one says. This other one here says, okay, this one is also somebody actually suggesting that there would be more likely be voter fraud if a birth certificate is submitted rather than an ID. The birth certificate is submitted along with the valid photo so the officer can actually see the person being confirmed. How cruel can some people be? So what has been the experience in St. Kitts, another OECS and CARICOM state? Is it really sad that labor advocates can sound so ridiculous in the arguments against justice and fairness? And this person says, what a shame. This one is actually in-house in Dominica. And so comments are coming from they've come fast and furious and from all over. So, okay. And, okay, so let's more business. We can, I think, do I have somebody in the line? Okay, you know my numbers already, 449-3095, 3096, 3097. Overseas line 305, 432, 9624. And of course, my global international number is 767-315-7275.
But if
Well, it's alive.
Something like this, I like Linus Veplatu. Tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, Linus Funeral Home, 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, Munumo, Pakite Anye Batu Dio, Kia 449-100, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. That time for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go in the best chaperone. Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, si c'est pas Linus, il a venu à l'effet.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst Funeral Home today.
Somebody suggesting, hold on the line for me, please. The chairman of the commission being a passport agent is like the wheels keeping the car running. Hi, good afternoon, 223.
I want to apologize to you because I promised I would not be calling.
That's the Fourth Amendment. Of the Fifth Parliament.
Don't say you don't call him back.
Don't say you don't call him back. Blessings. Go ahead.
Okay.
Franklin, I asked Matt that question about 10 times, maybe 15 or 20, maybe 50 times, I don't know. And respectfully, and in a very diplomatic way, what part of Skerrit anatomy he washed and soaked the ham and the turkeys in and give Dominicans to eat? Why we are so dirty, Franklin? Franklin, nobody is standing up. What we're afraid of, check gas and arrest and the cell and all of that. We were not afraid to take the vaccine. So much of us take it and we are damaged, plenty of us. Why we cannot stand up and fight for Dominica, Duncan, what's his name, Lennox Lawrence, Ali Lawrence, and they just... You're talking to me, Franklin?
I'm right there listening to you, my brother. You have the floor in Parliament now.
Oh, okay, we're in Parliament. Okay, Speaker. You know, I am just saying, Franklin, that level of abuse and the response to that abuse, it is so minimal. These guys are laughing all the way to the bank. They're having a field day. Have you been on a field trip, Franklin?
Many. But in Dominica and outside of Dominica.
Like seeing and say, look at the Jacko and that's a Cicero
and a lion. Yeah.
Maybe a man go and an aguti. And these guys figuring out, well, we are the, how they call it, the floral and the fauna. So they just watching us. Look at this as a blessing. Every time we talk in Simona branch up there. Franklin, we need some equal response to the brutality of this administration, Franklin. And it is sorry to say, once I look up, Lennox Lawrence, my name used to hell on high. Once I sat at his office and but I don't constore a man I used to watch to be like a down-to-earth ghetto man. They say money is the root of all evil. The love of it is greed. That is the root of all evil, my brother. Nobody, look, Lennox not talking. You see anybody trying to chip in? More than the same colors that are talking. Anybody of influence or status in Dominica saying, let me chip in, because that man has been fighting for so many years. He is not talking now. Let me say something. The man spoke to Duncan pertaining to the birth certificate. And Duncan played like he was dumb and asking why Hillary Schillingford is even calling, because he's a member of the commission. Why? That level of disrespect there, boy, Franklin. Franklin, you're not well.
Blessings, more blessings to you. I think I'm going to take this one. Mad Buck, Mr. Mullen, please. Let me see if my overseas line 227.
Yes, sir. What will it take? What will it take the people of Dominica, even the media in Dominica, to understand that Dominica is not a democratic country? On paper, yes, I keep saying that. On paper, you're supposed to be a democracy. In practice, everyday political practice in Dominica, you're a socialist country. Your government signs agreement with a communist country, China, and refuse to tell you what they signed. You bring in foreign troops from the other Caribbean countries on the island. You don't even tell why you bring them in and what the heck they're doing. I understand they just seize a lot of drugs. I would not be surprised if all that drugs came from Venezuela, Dominica's friend. But they're talking about Trump. Every time they go on the bloody radio, Trump. Talk about your bloody country and what the parasites are doing in your country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that was forthright. You sound like a deputy speaker of our house. And that is, when I say our house, right here. We go in.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way. Somebody book me on like the Mouvement Créole Assoukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio Q FM qui a présenté Mouvement Créole.
Tous les mardis soirs, entre 6h après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, proverbe, discussion, reportage, après et puis écrit créole, lien avec ton peuple créole, bon musique créole, mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. Tu FM qui est frappé avec parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Timamaina, mouvement créole, à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
Yeah, 229. Good afternoon. What's on the block?
Yeah, Peter,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Have you heard there's some Spanish men, whether in Dominican Republic or Venezuela, going around saying gold for money? Have you heard that?
Just say it again so I can hear
Some
clearly.
guy, either from Venezuela or wherever they Spanish country, Colombia and Venezuela, going around and ask people money for gold, money for gold. That is dangerous. There was just some years ago.
Yes. Venezuela. I think they were from Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Ah,
That
yeah.
is dangerous. Because if that guy is cut off by his pocket and you see that, they will either murder and take the money. We have some bad boys in Dominica. Dominican, be on the alert. That's what I'm telling you. Thank you very much.
Well, your voice sound familiar, boy.
Right.
Oh, is us?
You know me very well.
Okay, is us. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Okay, 2:30 and 40 and 50 seconds. Let me go overseas and see what happens overseas. 2:30. Yes, good afternoon, Yorn.
Yes, and again,
Mhm.
how was read your Bible? How was Jericho liberated? God.
Jericho was liberated when the walls of Jericho and Joshua marched 7 times for 7 days, and on the 7th day he marched 7 times, and the walls came rumbling
Okay.
down.
Okay, but your people just figure they're praying. It's like there's an old story years ago growing up in Dominica. So a woman goes to the river with her clothes and hoping that the clothes would wash itself. You have to help yourself, man. Stop letting this parasite control you and destroy you. The Speaker of the House, forget it. He's a criminal. He's a traitor. Just like the former president. Bye.
Buy something for me when you get to the shop. It's 2:31. Counting. This is Stuck on the Block for this afternoon. It is Q95. Okay, they're coming fast and furious. So somebody made a comment and somebody has a comment and she wants to answer the comment that she made when somebody commented on the comment that she made. That's the person's comment.
I'm sorry to call a second time with him. But bagay la say from the Ipaka Betans. Now Vinny Kone Jay-Z, Tune. So kape, ukapi we batize. Upaka vile kwa confirmation. C'est pas la confirmation kape. So if we're going to do this right, we need to get baptized all over again. So what they needed was a total re-registration. Because something, it doesn't make sense to tell me that this is new. From what Duncan was saying, it's like a re-registration, but the re-registration on you cannot put new wine in old wine skin. You cannot do that because it will corrupt it. So if I'm going to be reconfirmed, unless there is 2 phases to the reconfirmation, go and I reconfirm that I was already registered to vote. Okay? And then I'm going to a new constituency where I currently live and confirm there as well. Because if there is only one reconfirmation, I'm reconfirming the very address that I was. And so nothing changes. So you have people who do not live in constituencies voting in those constituencies. So if you are registered in Newtown, you have moved to the town of Portsmouth for the last 3 years. You have a dwelling house in Portsmouth. You've been remarried in the town of Portsmouth. Why then are you going to go back to Newtown to reconfirm? When really and truly you don't live in Newtown, you live in Portsmouth. What happens? You still have people voted in the wrong areas. So what they really needed was a re-registration. So privatize, il pas de consommation encore. La consommation, nous pouvons mettre ça sous côté. And how does the government knows that? Or and people like Duncan knows that? Duncan, and I'm really calling you out on that. You cannot be doing this to the people. You need a change. Why are you doing worse than what you've done before? You are perpetuating the thievery of elections. And we need a change of that system. If you are against the people, my God, it means that you are siding with the people who wants to take our rights away. Why are you doing that? Is it for you to remain in your position, making money from the poor people of Dominica? Do something and do it right. My mother used to say, if you do the thing right, you don't have to do it over and over again. This is not doing the right thing for Dominica. We need change. This cannot be right. Now you're telling people you're disenfranchising the older people of Dominica. You're disenfranchising the poor people of Dominica. The young people who don't have a job, who don't have money to go get a passport. And right now what? Social Security is $30. Who has the money to pay for that? If they don't have a job. Come on. You were talking about disenfranchising people in the US. Now you're disenfranchising the people in Dominica who wants to vote for, who should be voted.
Somebody, one of his good is I want somebody to call me and tell me, is that a punctuating statement in patois when you say "achien"? What do you get from? "Achien," man. I talking to you, man. And go get it from me, man. Punctuation. "Achien." I read that one, boy. Which will explore that during Cruel Week. Every Dominica 2:36 in the afternoon. This is Q95, the big station. We'll talk on the block. What's on your mind? If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. Mais vous pouvez parler though. Bonjour. And now we have this caller going once, he's 100%, and he's going once, he's going twice, he's going 3 times. He's gone. Are you there? Nope. Okay. Okay, I can see that. Okay, next line. Good afternoon.
Franklin, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Everything is in divine order.
You know, I'm happy you're using the term divine order. I don't want to blame God, so I don't know who to blame. So I can't blame God.
No.
How could somebody make a Dominica and put only 22 smart people in Dominica? How did that happen?
22, but there's 21 constituencies, which means we have extra
No,
constituencies.
not 21. 19 for the labor rights, because they lose 2. Okay? So 19 parliamentarians and 3 members of the Electoral Commission. How could somebody make a Dominica and only have 21 smart people in Dominica that whatever they say is gospel? And the gospel according to who? Not the Jesus Christ we're talking about, not that gospel there. It has to be the gospel according to Scary. Something has got to be wrong with Dominicans that no matter how much they protest, that they are overridden, their protest has a veto, and the veto is done by Scary. It's 18 other parliamentarians and 3 members on the Electoral Commission. How to tell me, and everybody's got to repeat and rehash the same thing over and over and over, that I need to begin my passport application. I need to get a driver's license. The primary thing I need, because I have no ID before that. You tell me, go and get my birth certificate, get a passport picture, and get somebody to notarize it. Now I am ready to re-register, reconfirm. And you are telling me, if I don't have the passport, so what should I do? Go and get a passport first and get it. Now, the information they're asking for, when you go to reconfirm, if you have a birth certificate, the information is on it. Your mother's name, your father's name. It is on the birth certificate already. So once it is notarized, the information you're asking me for, you don't have to. It is right there. and only 19 men in parliament, 3 on the electoral commission, are the only ones smart enough to put that on us. That what we say is gospel. Now, I have one other concern, Nam Franklin.
Yes.
This morning, I heard of some fare hikes in a number of issues in Dominica. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always heard this saying, if you fail to plan, what do you do, Franklin?
You plan to
You
fail.
plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. One parliamentarian said, if not the sale of passport, what else? So therefore, all the eggs were in one basket. So now that the passport is going down, because we only made so much out of the passport sales because we underbid all the other islands. Now it has come to a point where all the islands must go at the same price. So nobody cannot get more in Antigua or in St. Lucia or in Grenada than Dominica. Anytime you go in. So Dominica does not have what the other islands have to offer. So they can smell the death of the CIP for Dominica. Because we did not plan now. The way we're going to mitigate that loss from the CIP is to murder people with taxes. The things that cost $5 cost $20. The things that cost $6,000 cost $18. The things that cost $8 cost $20. That is all we have done because we did not plan. And because we did not plan, we failed to plan. Right? We did not plan, and we are planning to fail now. That is what has happened with this government. We have 18 men in parliament taken, the same 18 smart men in Dominica are leading us down a rabbit hole and leaving our ass exposed for the dog to catch us. Something is going to be wrong with Dominica. What did they put in the tea for us? What did they put in the food that we eat it? And once we eat it, we don't eat. Something is wrong with Dominica. And until and unless Dominicans decide, look, I am sacrificing everything to get to the point I want to get to. I am cutting down all these prickly thorns to get to the good side. We are all going to suffer. Dominicans, it's time to wake up. My good friend, who's going to message me when I'm finished? Are you satisfied with this thing, with the reconfirmation process? Clarence Christian, are you satisfied that people should not be able to register with the use of their passport, notarized, and a photograph? Is that what you folks are saying? Goodness gracious. Thank you very much, FM.
Yes, sir. Goodness gracious. 2:42 and 6 seconds and counting. Okay, so they're coming in fast and furious. You already know my number. I have 2 calls on my switchboard. However, before I do this, Franklin, they know exactly what they were doing because since July, August, the VCAS constituency was given money to make the ID from the PALREP, especially the NEP workers. It says that, well, don't say I say. I'm just relaying a listener's concern. Okay, 2:42. Oh, did I lose both of you? Oh, that's not common, is it? Okay, you on the block. Mm-hmm. You're bad for me. I can see you ready. Okay, drink some water. Drink some water.
Franklin Moses.
Yes, sir.
The last caller who called my name, I think I know him very well. Franklin Moses, it is not the Labour Party that said you have to get you cannot get your birth certificate or whatever it is. It is the UWUP who initially started saying you need to have photograph ID, a passport, a driver's license, and things so to you to confirm. It is they. We compromise. Labour Party and its people compromise. But anyway, leave that alone. Franklin, let me tell you something. You need to read the Constitution.
You have a copy, right?
We do not have, it is on the net, let me tell you, we do not have a residency requirement for voting in Dominica. Let me repeat that. Dominica does not have a constitutional requirement of residency for voting in Dominica. Section 33(2)(a) gives you a residency requirement for registration. So if you go in to register for the first time, you need a residency requirement. You have to say where you reside. Section 33(2)(b) of the Constitution. Once you are registered in accordance with Section 33(2)(b), you shall vote. Once you are registered in accordance with 33(2)(a), you shall vote. That is our Constitution, Section 33(2)(b). So the Constitution is telling us you could reside in Timbuktu for 40 years. Once you are registered in Dominica, you shall vote, and you show yourself to vote. You shall vote in the constituency in which you were registered. Parliament in 1974 passed a law saying if you are out of state for 5 years, remember it's a law, Parliament in 1974 passed a law saying if you are out of state for more than 5 years, you are liable to get your name to be removed from the voters list. But the very same law made it very tedious to remove your name from the list because there must be an objection, you must be heard, you have a right to appeal, you have everything to remove your name from the list. This Parliament removed that section. So once you are overseas, so my friend Latricia, she is living overseas, she comes to confirm she does not have to give a Dominica address where she will reside because she doesn't need that. If she will confirm where she initially was voting, Papa Modier, very simple, very educational. I'm educating the people. Okay?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So this is very simple. You go to confirm. For example, I have been living in Salisbury for the past 40 years. But because of nostalgia, because of my roots, I think so, I decide I want to vote in Pishley because that is where I registered. So I am going to be confirmed in Pishley because there is no residency requirement for voting in Dominica. None. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
It's not right. There is no. And sometimes we educating people over and over and over again, Papa Modier, Marie Joseph. Right? And people don't think there are no residency requirements for voting in Dominica. No constitutional residency requirement. You have a constitutional residency requirement for registration. So any new person going to register must be residing in the constituency that which they are going to register for 3 months. Once you are registered and you are duly registered, you can stay in Africa, Timbuktu, for 30 years and your name is on the list. You can come back to vote where you were registered. That is our law.
Okay.
Two.
Okay, good.
Let me continue. The confirmation process was following the St. Kitts model because St. Kitts had a confirmation process. In St. Kitts, the people went overseas, the cities in New York, in London, in major cities where citizens were, and get them confirmed. This was the same thing that was being proposed in Dominica. Everybody said, the opposition said, we need people to confirm in Dominica, wherever they are. I was opposed to that, and up to now, my government compromised. I still feel that we should be sending people overseas to confirm, but we have to agree. We compromise. It's a compromise. What is the issue? You did not want birth certificate. You did not want another person to certify you. You did not, all of a sudden, at the last moment, you want confirmation with not passport, but birth certificate. You want confirmation with notary public signing, and you want confirmation with photo ID, for pictures. When we were saying that, you were saying no, you don't want that. We say it on radio. These are the things which we would prefer. You said no because we practicing corruption. We compromise with you. And now, at the last moment, at the very last moment when the thing started, you saying the very same thing you were saying you did not want. Is it you want now? So if I can go with my photograph, we are not a republic, then I can go to vote with the same thing. I don't need a voter ID.
Yep. Clarence. Mr. Christian. Oops, a little technical difficulty there. You know my number. Please call me back. Fair and square. Everybody gets a free view on this. Then this is the station of speech, responsible speech. No information we got against that. It's 2:15 in the afternoon time. Thank you very much. This is anybody can call and make your comments. This is Global Radio. Hi, good afternoon. Is that overseas? That's overseas, right? That's New York? Because when I leave New York, I'm going to London. I just got a text from London. Go ahead.
My brother, let me say something to you. I don't know how this guy can tell people I could stay away for 40 years. Go back and vote, whether I register or not, and I have a residency address. That does not sound logical to me. That sounds like some dumb, mumbling nonsense. Straight up, I can't put it any better than that. And I heard the commissioner or the electoral commissioner, the man Mr. Stowe, the man is compromised. Anyone listening to my voice, if you are a passport seller given by the government, ruling government, given by the man who is in charge of the country, you are compromised. So, like a caller called you, and the caller said that he came in the day before, 2 days before. The process is supposed to be final, where people have to go to re-register and all of it. The whole thing, my friend, is set up for another ambush. It's a robbery all over again. Because who's most likely to get a passport? A foreigner coming in, a diasporan. So we might as well say foreigner, because when someone we come home, some of us brothers and sisters at home don't consider us Dominican, but I'm sure they consider them Dominican for their vote. Because some of them come in and get vote. You prostitute yourself and you prostitute the country. Let's be realistic. Nobody holds back, my friend. This kind of thing is an ambush. And the only thing that will stop this kind of thievery and all this nonsense going on, the people have an uprising, a serious protest against the government, because if you play by the rules, you never win, because the government has 19 people in their favor. They have the people who on the commission in their favor. The opposition is really outnumbered. The only way, there must be a revolution. Everybody wake up one morning and say they are tired of it. They're going to the polls on such a day, and they will vote it, whether they are red shirt or blue shirt. These are, you have to have a serious mind shift, a change of mind. People with a vision, visionary people, make a serious change when they get tired of this nonsense. Because listening to this nonsense, these guys calling you defending, utter wrong, man. These guys sit on it and they are serious about it. How can somebody tell me that? I'm not a fool, man. Just listening to it, it's such an asinine statement from a man with a degree. And I don't have one. You thermostat my refrigerator in my back of my yard, know what temperature is. But I don't have a degree. No, and that don't sound logical to me. Well, a country with 65,000 people, and most people already accept it is less because people running like crazy. I don't know why. This thing is set up ambush again. I said it from day one, and I'm saying it now. They have been doing registration and doing all paying, buying, and whatever they've been doing for months. The rumors been out there. People are not crazy. Some people said they saw it, they heard it. It's been out there. They've been preparing for ambush, and let no one tell you, oh, brother, I'm listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. 2:54. We have limited time. I have 2 calls on my switchboard. However, I have a text, 2 texts, 3. Okay, they're coming in fast and furious. I gotta go shortly. Hi, Franklin. Please ask. Okay, this is hypothetical. However, it is coming from a strong source, an inside source. Hi, Franklin. Please ask Clarence if we should follow. Is it true? The person asking, is it true? So this is it true? I'm repeating. Responsibly. Is it true that Rozovsky, the Prime Minister of Dominica, has transferred to the polling district from where he lived? It's apparent, well, someone is suggesting, I'll have to do some research, I'll pass it on to Matt, that he transferred his vote from Vacaz to Roseau Central. Okay. Let me go to New York. And then, no, let me go to England first. Back in England, we have a regular. I'm looking. Oh my goodness! Did I? Oh, there it is. There he is. Okay, so I've gone to England, and it's about 8 o'clock. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's about 8:30. Talk to me, my bro.
Franklin, the more I listen to this discussion, the more I come to the realization that the government, which is attempting now to raise funds on a massive scale through the incrementation of prices for all tourist sites and all sorts of things, other things included, must be attempting to use this electoral process to try to force those of us who want to reconfirm or confirm our names on the list to go get Dominican passports, even those who have never gotten a Dominican passport before. Just imagine if we encourage massive amounts of people to go get their passports now that they need them in order to confirm their names on the list. At a cost of $150, I understand, per passport. That's quite a chunk of money that will be coming into the government coffers to be utilized for paying salaries, etc. And they seem to be desperate, a situation that they should not be in, considering the amount of Dominican citizenships that they have sold for large amounts of money. Obviously, we know that that money has not come into the treasury. At least much of it has not. And so they're desperate. So now this exercise will be an exercise utilized to raise funds as well by forcing people to run quickly and try to get their passports.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. That's my Bernard from Bernard A. All the way in England. It's about 8 o'clock. So they just take 2 more. It's 2:58 and 8 seconds and counting. Hi, good afternoon. Talk on the block. What's on your mind? What's on the block? We'll talk about it. Bonjour. Going once, going twice, gone. You again, right here. Next line, 2:58. Next line, good afternoon, 2:58.
Mr. Franklin Moses, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you?
Everything is in divine order.
Okay, praise the Lord.
Amen.
Mr. Franklin Moses, it's going on 3 years now. My son was killed in a traffic accident with the Prime Minister's son.
It was your son?
They haven't got up to today, they haven't got no answer from that case. I need result for my son. My son wasn't an animal, he wasn't a dog. You understand? My son was killed in a traffic accident, and I expect the case to call. If you're wrong, give him wrong. You understand? And so long I'm calling, I am calling on behalf of my son, and nothing is happening. I want results for my son. That's what I want to say this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I didn't realize that case was still unresolved. Although I think let me be honest, I knew it was unresolved, but I didn't realize it had gotten to that extent. So that's the second person. I mean, I know that there may be others, so forgive me. I do not want to make yours seem any insignificant or other song more significant than your case, because the love of a friend or loved one is as similarly impactful on anybody, depending on the degree of friendship that was already originally established. However, what I'm basically saying is that nurse has not gotten any redress for her child. You know who I'm talking about when I say nurse. She was just talking to us. And now we have this young man who lost his son through a motor vehicle accident, regarding another young man, and then he's still unresolved. So let's see what happens with that. The gentleman is asking for justice to be done here in that particular case. Dominica will never have fresh elections when it's business as usual. Somebody says, Franklin, if voting in Dominica is to choose someone to represent you in Parliament, how can you live in Pluto and vote for somebody in Jupiter? If somebody suggesting yes, I can confirm that the Prime Minister, okay, so I'm repeating what somebody has just texted. The Prime Minister voted in Roseau Central. What his residential connection with Roseau Central? Okay, so that is an observation. I have one more commission to make to do business. Okay, let me take this one. I think you've been waiting for a while. It was an exercise of not futility, but it's 3:00 actually. Good afternoon. Final call.
Hey, Franklin, how are you doing?
Everything. I'm doing good. Thanks. By the grace of God.
Thank you for taking my call. Final call. I'm a lucky fella.
Yeah, man. You bless.
I heard you just now speaking about. Now he's saying there's no residency requirement for voting, which is true. However, there's a residency requirement for registration. So in order to get registered, you have to live in a certain constituency for a certain period of time. However, the process is a confirmation process. So what it is I am confirming that
your phone working automatically by itself.
I live in this constituency. That is what.
But that phone have hiccups.
Now, if I don't live in
unless I
go to confirm that I live in such then I understand what there's no residence requirement for voting. Yes.
But no. I know that's injustice to you. I want to hear. I think you're making sense. I think you have a nice run-on sentence. But there's something happening with your phone every time you begin to talk. Every 2 or 3 seconds, something gets connected. I think your hand may be touching your iPad, your punch pad. So put it.
The phone might be faulty.
Okay, doesn't matter. We'll pick up the gist of what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
That's braille. That is braille. No. I don't think. No. Bro, call me back. No. Call me back. Well, that's geopolitical positioning. That's a radar you have on that phone. No, that have to be Alcatel. You know why I know it's an Alcatel? By the way it's sounding, I can tell. Okay. Yes. Good afternoon. Final. We didn't get through.
Just a few seconds, Franklin.
Yeah.
Above a driver's license in Dominica, how many foreigners that obtain Dominica driver's license? Chinese, Asian, Santo Domingans, or wherever. So if you are deprived from using a birth certificate and other people can vote on a driver's license, how many foreigners that can vote or reconfirm or whatever garbage they say you need all these IDs to do in the absence of a birth certificate? What about foreigners with a driver's license, a Dominica driver? Or maybe you can register on an international driver's license to Franklin. And these are the things that criminals are not highlighting, because in the machination, my brother, or machinations, they want to keep Dominicans under that slave driver. Thank you.
Yes, brother. Thank you very much. Okay. Finalmente, okay, 303. I had another person says, "Can I text?" Okay, I wait on your text. if you feel so inspired. But we're coming to the end. I think I have one more. Okay. Yes, this is Matt's computer. So I'm going to break and open into his computer and get this one here. It goes like the.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars on the last Thursday of each month. AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau: motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
Final from 3-5-42. I hope it's you again. I hope it's you. Okay, yeah.
What is that news I heard about Venezuela?
No. Okay, do me a favor. Move the microphone of your by your mouth a little further away from so I can hear clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What did the last news you heard about America and Venezuela?
What last did I hear?
Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, Donald Trump is and the CIA they're attempting to infiltrate. Well, I can say use the word trying to establish a positioning in the Caribbean, particularly with Grenada, because Grenada seems to be closer on the doorstep with an international airport for positioning, maybe with the potential, maybe the possibility of trying to attack. According to what I see on WhatsApp and Facebook regarding the oil that exists in Venezuela, so some are for, some are against.
Let me tell you, if Grenada refused America to put whatever they wanted in Grenada, they will set a sanction on Grenada. Now, the next thing, very soon from now, 2 weeks time, they will nickel and everything back to normal. Who did deal with Alba? What Alba? They will back everybody trembling now. Alba title, they will tremble and fall to the ground. That's all about it.
Okay, nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think you're welcome. All right, that looks like it. Unless you have somebody else want to say something. Okay, I think somebody wants to say something. But I gotta run. Matt, you might want on me this afternoon. You tell me. Okay, I won't tell you. That's my buddy for life. Yeah, are you there with me?
Yes, Franklin, I'm there with you.
You're final. Yes.
I'm final.
No. I hope you are. Maybe somebody called. I have another fine. I got to be back on the air at 4:00 again.
Okay, let me tell you. 2 things. We're talking about electoral reform this afternoon, but there's something that has been stated today which highlights the importance of Dominicans to play an active part in politics. And it is this. I understood that the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association have asked the government to withdraw the fees to our site. I'm not sure if you heard that. Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah. Right. That's in the news.
As a result, they said it's too expensive.
Yeah.
My question is, Frank, this was presented in the budget of 2025. It's clearly enunciated in the budget, debated upon, spoken about by all these kindergarten ministers during their debate. The Minister of Tourism alluded to it, the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister in their presentation in the House of Assembly. There were presentations by the opposition. It was presented and debated during the budget debate of 2025. Where was the Dominica Tourism Association? Where was the Taxi Association? Where were all the vendors and all the people involved in tourism at the time when that was presented and debated in the House of Assembly? Where were they? What were they doing? I guess they were saying they're not in politics, they're not listening to the House of Assembly, and of course they were just too busy praising the circus of presentations that the ministers make in Parliament. So why now come in October when the season is open and say the fees are too high, when it was presented in the budget? And for the first time, I would say if I were the government, I would not withdraw it, because you have to teach Dominicans a lesson that when they talk about this nonsense about they're not in politics and the government is the government and they can do what they want, they should, according to the former Commonwealth Secretariat or wherever she is buried, they must stop their salt now, because people must be involved in a society, participating in a society through whatever means, through business or otherwise, and then live a life in a country as if nothing that happens in the country is of concern to them. So they go about their merry, busy way every day while Parliament is going on and nonsense is being debated and the budget is being presented in Parliament, and the very stakeholders who are supposed to listen to what is happening and how it's going to impact their lives pay no heed to it. And if you talk about it, they say they're not in politics. So that should be a lesson for Dominicans. All right, that's the first thing. Finally, the second thing I'd like to say is about electoral reform. I am one person who does not believe that any electoral reform is required to remove a government in power.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very clear that the current government in power will not do anything to facilitate electoral reform for there to be free and fair elections. There will never be free and fair elections in Dominica. And we must stop fooling ourselves. We must stop kidding ourselves, because the more and more we listen to the apologists, like the one you had speaking on your program, or the propagandists of this government, the more they speak, is the more it becomes clear to us that there is no intention of this government to provide Dominicans with the opportunity for free and fair election. And so we must stop fooling ourselves. We must stop kidding ourselves into falling into the propaganda and the misleading and the deception that anything is being done to allow for free and fair elections in Dominica. What constitutes a free and fair election? Because Dominicans don't understand what elections are about. They think it is voting for this person or against this person. Dominicans perhaps are the only people on the face of this earth who do not understand that elections is about governance. Elections is about putting people in government to govern you. And so they continue to make excuses that people who don't live in Dominica have a right to vote in Dominica, when the people who live overseas are not governed by the people who govern Dominica. Right? And they continue to try to legitimize the fact that if you do not live in Dominica, you have a right to vote in Dominica. No, you do not have a right to vote for any government that is not going to govern you, because you're not affected by the policies of that government. You're not affected by the taxes of that government. You're not affected by the legislations of that government. You are not affected by any decision, policy, or program that is put in place by this government. When you go and vote for them and then take a plane the next day, it is the people in the country who live in the country who have to subscribe to every spit that the government ushers, who have to live under the rules and the policies and the programs, good or bad, that government enacts. And so free and fair elections are determined by the will of the people. And there are many elections, have been many elections around the world where governments have been voted on by the will of the people. Okay? It is the will of the people who determines, no matter what. When I go into the ballot box, I'm going to make a decision to say, okay, I do not want you to govern me anymore because you have failed. Because my life is in misery. My children are not seeing their way. Okay? And I cannot afford to live a decent life, to grow, to take the opportunities that are at my disposal for me and my children and the people of my neighbors and countrymen to live a better life. That's what elections are about. And unless Dominicans realize that is what elections are about, they will continue to be fooled by this thing. And I am one person who does not believe to hell with voter ID card and all those other kind of trappings that people want to talk about for free and fair elections. Because no matter what is put in place for free and fair election, if the will of the people does not determine that they want to vote out a government and vote in a group of people who will govern them better, things will not take place. Because you listen to the how you call it statements made by Dominicans, which creates a certain cognitive dissonance. They cannot put food on their table. They cannot pay their bills. They cannot send their children to school. They cannot pay their rent. They cannot pay their loans. They have poor health care. And the entire system is being dismantled. The country is going to the dogs, and they are saying, if not this government, who else? Yes, the government is bad, but who else? Or I don't support this government, and yes, I'd vote for them, but who else? Which set of people in the world in their right mind says that? There are people who will change a government, and if when they change the government after 4 to 5 years, that government doesn't function, they vote them out. They make a decision that no longer must you be in charge of my country and myself and my future, and we're going to take you out and give somebody else a chance. And when you put somebody else in there, they don't do anything, you do the same thing with them. The Dominicans want to make excuses. You know why? Because they want to continue to vote for a farmer who will give them pesticides, even if they know that when they continue to vote for that farmer, he will continue to pour pesticides on their fruit, only because they don't want to give another farmer a chance to give them the opportunity to cultivate and to grow something else, to see if that will yield anything to their benefit. That's the problem in Dominica. And so I've been listening for the whole week. I've been listening to the nonsense and the conundrum from the chairman of the Electoral Commission and the chief elections officer who was there. I've been listening to all these things and so. And do we know that today all the parliamentary representatives of the Labour Party are in their constituencies? So it calls for a number of things. An organized opposition, an opposition that is strategic, an opposition that has a well-planned and oiled campaign, an opposition that has a solid message and a solid platform to gain the trust and the admiration of the people on one hand, and it calls for a realization of the voters of the country that I can no longer endure and live under a government that is not serving my best interests. So we vote them out. And no matter how much ID card and voter re-registration and all that kind of thing we're talking about, if the will of the people is not so determined to go to the polls and vote their skins out and leave them as skeletons in power, then we will not have any electoral change in Dominica. That's what has to happen. The young, the old, the youth, the farmer, the fishermen, those in tourism, the bus driver, the nurses, the teachers, the farmers, the agriculturalists, the footballers, the basketballers, the cricketers must make a decision that they are no longer going to live in a country where you have a government that is not allowing them to see their way, where you have a government where we're not producing anything. You think they don't know that? You think they can't see it? The taxes that are paying, the high cost of living, the expenses that people have to live by every day, the degeneration of our health sector and everything in Dominica. You think Dominicans are not seeing that? And so if they are determined to say, well, okay, we will no longer tolerate that kind of nonsense of the playground that we have as a government, when they go to the polls, voter registration or not, they will vote them out. And they will take a stand. They will take a solid stand. And they let those who think that they can come down and put an election on their backs and turn back and go, no, that if you do that, you're going to face solid consequences. There are enough of examples around the world where dictators have been voted out, where governments have been voted out, where people who have misused the electoral system have been made to know that the population of the country will not tolerate bad governance. There can never be more Dominicans outside there to come and vote a government on the backs of Dominicans than the Dominicans who live in Dominica.
And so if the Dominicans who live in Dominica, the majority of them who walk the streets of Dominica, who have to drive on the streets of Dominica, who have to send their children to school in Dominica, who have to use the hospital, who the people in Dominica who are suffering under the current administration, if they decide en masse that they're going to vote out this government, no 200 and 300 and 400 people from outside can vote. And that's what has to happen in the next election. Dominicans must march to the polls in large numbers. And to end where I started, enough of this nonsense about I'm not in politics. Enough of this nonsense about I'm not voting. Enough of this nonsense about I'm not involved in this, because you are being affected. Dominicans have to understand that they cannot be apathetic to the political transactions that are taking place in Dominica. And so they have to decide en masse, in unity, with a solid voice and a solid movement, that they will go to the polls, flood the polls, and vote for the government. And the people who take the place, because you see, we have an increase in airlines. We have Contour Airlines. And if you notice, there are a whole set of airlines that are coming to Dominica. Look at St. Thomas, where we have the largest catch of laborites from Granby who come in to vote every election. There's now a direct flight into Dominica. Okay, and now they're talking about all other connections to come to Dominica. Look at the hub that is New Jersey, where many people in New Jersey and New York would come to Dominica during elections. We now have United Airlines. So it is a ploy. It's an orchestration. It is the use of state resources and state facilities to facilitate bringing in of people. But we must let this government know, and let the people outside there, you can bring in your hundreds of people you want. The force of the people who are living in Dominica can never be overcome when we decide we go into the polls and we're voting them out.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comments. It's 3:20. I went over time. So, I say again, in the next 30, 40 minutes, I'll be back. Hopefully, with Nish Allen, Small Business Buzz. Franklin Moses wishing you a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye. See you again with Matt tomorrow morning as the seat gets hotter.